This is TY back with another video, and today I want to talk about a few topics today. So I'm just go ahead and put it all in one video. First, let's start off with the Chris Eubank Jr. Liam Smith fight. The fight happened Saturday. I wasn't expecting Chris Eubank to get stopped in the 4th round. I wasn't expecting that at all. Matter of fact, I honestly didn't really care about the fight too much. There was a lot of stuff that was happening before the fight. There was a lot of comments made, a lot of I don't even know how I wanted to say it. About basically both of them checking each other's sexuality, I guess you could say. Chris Eubank was going after Liam Smith and saying that he was checking his sexuality, and then Liam Smith was saying the same thing to Chris Eubank, saying that I've never seen you with a woman before. And then the weigh-in, and Chris Eubank's wearing the the rainbow little thing, headband or armband or whatever around his arm, and at the weigh-in of the fight. So that had raised a lot of questions, like, well, what does that mean? Like, is he really, like, is that really what he is, or is he just standing for it, or what's that about? But he goes in the ring, and then he just gets stopped by Liam Smith. Yeah, this well, obviously it's not a good look for Liam Smith. It's not a good look for Chris Eubank, for him to get stopped like this. This was the same guy that ducked. This is the same guy in Chris Eubank that ducked Jamal Charlo. This is the same guy that, he ain't really been fighting anybody. I think he lost to like Billy Joe Saunders, and he lost to George. I think he lost to George Groves too, as well. So, I've never really been no big fan of Chris Eubank Jr. This is I don't know. At this point, he's just gonna be a guy that's gonna be fighting over in the UK, fighting nobodies basically. Then Conor Benn, comes out. He was supposed to fight Conor Benn, and that fight didn't happen because Conor Benn, tested positive for the performance enhancing drugs that he took, because he tested positive for the drugs that he took. So that fight didn't take place. But Conor Benn had some comments made, and he said that he basically would have done the same thing if it was him. But yeah, if he would not have got caught, yeah, he probably would have, But it's just crazy that Chris Eubank Jr. go out and just went out like this. Yeah, like I said, at this point, he's just going to be fighting guys that with no names, fighting guys in the UK. It just looked like that's going to be his route now that he's gotten stopped by Liam Smith. So that's just that. I don't really got much else to say about this fight. It's just it is what it is. It is what it is. In other news, so the Jamel Charlo and Tim Tszyu fight was supposed to happen, but then the fight got postponed because Jamel Charlo got hurt. He hurt his hand in training. So now Tony Harrison now has stepped in and said, you know what, I'll take the fight. So now this makes it interesting, because now whoever wins this fight gets to fight Charlo next. And I think that this is a good fight. I think this is a good fight. This is a fight that, shows where is Tim Tszyu really at, He got dropped by Terrell Gouchet, and but he ultimately got the win. But Tony Harrison, this is a different story. Tony Harrison is a very good fighter. Tony Harrison has beaten Jamel Charlo. Some may say that Jamel won the fight. Some may say that Tony Harrison won the fight. But he's fought Jamel Charlo twice. He knows what it's like. He's a very skilled boxer. So I think this is a good fight for both guys to see, to see where they're at. I got Tony Harrison winning the fight, though. I think Tony Harrison is gonna win by decision. I think that Tony Harrison, will outbox Tim Tszyu. I just don't think Tim Tszyu has. He just won't have the answers to figure out Tony Harrison. The only way that I think he's going to be able to beat Tony Harrison is if he catches Tony Harrison with a shot, and that's the only thing. If he catches him with a shot, that's the only way he's going to win the fight. Otherwise, I don't see Tim Tszyu beating Tony Harrison. I think Tony Harrison's style is too much for Tim Tszyu. I just think that this is what a guy like Tony Harrison could do to anybody in this division at 154 pounds, is that he can make trouble for anyone. Like I said, he's a very good fighter. He's a very good boxer, very skilled boxer, and he's very smart in the ring. So I really like this fight, and I think Tony Harrison is gonna pull it off. And if he does, I think that sets up a trilogy between Charlo and Harrison 3. And I think that to me, that's gonna be good. Hey man, I like that. You know what I mean? I love both of their fights. The two fights that they had together, they both were classics to me. And then the trash talk between the both of them was good too. So the pre-fights, the conferences and stuff, oh man, it's gonna be off the chain. So I'm excited. I think that to me, honestly, I think that Tony Harrison is gonna beat Tim Tszyu. I believe that he's just gonna be too much. I don't think Tim Tszyu has enough to be able to beat Tony Harrison. Like I said, the only way that he can do it is if he catches Tony Harrison with a shot. So that's my take on that. I'm also hearing news that AJ might be fighting Jermaine Franklin. I think they said April 1st might be the date. My take on that, look man, this fight's not gonna be easy for AJ. That fight is not gonna be easy for AJ at all. Jermaine Franklin is the same guy that gave Dillian White problems. I thought that Jermaine Franklin won the fight. I thought he did enough to win it, but they didn't give it to him. They gave it to Dillian White, of course. But I thought that Jermaine Franklin did enough to beat Dillian White. He looked really good in there. And look, this is not going to be an easy fight for AJ. To me, I think AJ's going to have trouble. He's going to have trouble. I believe that, it seems like guys that are smaller than him seem to tend to give him trouble. And I think a guy like Jermaine Franklin give him trouble. I think he could outbox AJ. And you might think I'm crazy, but I think he could win. I really think he could win. I think he could win by a split decision. I really believe that he could probably win a split decision against AJ if this fight happens. And that's if AJ does fight Jermaine Franklin. I think Jermaine Franklin is underrated. He showed what he could do against a guy like Dillian White. So I think that this ain't no tune-up like that. Like, this is a straight-up real fight for AJ. AJ has had trouble. He's coming off a loss against two consecutive losses against Usyk. So this ain't gonna be no easy fight for AJ. It still hasn't been revealed yet as to who is going to train AJ next. There was reports out there that was saying that Derek James might be the one, or Roy Jones might be. I hope that Derek James doesn't train him, because I don't want to see that. I like what Derek James already has in Errol Spence, Jermell Charlo, and Frank Martin. I don't want to see him have to train AJ. That's just my personal take. I don't know who should train AJ at this point. But I really do believe that if it's true that AJ is going to fight Jermaine Franklin, I really believe that that's going to be a tough fight. Now, I'm not saying that AJ can't win this fight. I do think AJ has enough that he could be able to stop Jermaine Franklin. But I still think Jermaine Franklin can pull this off. I really think he can pull off the upset. And if he does, then, well, that's it for AJ, everything goes down the drain after that if he loses Jermaine Franklin. But I can see that they could give AJ the decision, or if AJ stops him. But I really do believe that this is going to be a tough fight. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about all the things I talked about, as far as the Chris Eubank Jr. fight, you know, talking about the Tony Harrison, Tim Tszyu, and also AJ might possibly be fighting Jermaine Franklin. Shout out to the whole entire LDBC, and again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.